Hello, my name is Doug Heaton, and I'm a candidate for Senate District 24. I'm going to talk in this video more about preserving the inalienable right of the pursuit of happiness that Thomas Jefferson spoke about in the Declaration of Independence. And I'm going to talk about how governments infringe that right. I'm going to talk about licensing. The pursuit of happiness can be defined as the right to seek those things that relate to prosperity. The right to go out and employ your time and your talents and your resources to provide for yourself and for your family. The right to earn a basic living and accumulate wealth. That is a basic unalienable right. That is the pursuit of happiness. Licensing infringes that right. I woke up in the middle of the night wondering how Utah compares to other states in the regulation of its citizens, so I went online to find out. You ought to do that sometime. It turns out that Utah is perhaps the most regulated state in the nation. I was amazed. We pride ourselves on being a great environment for business, and yet we are suppressing our citizens more than any other state. Imagine what we could do if the restrictions were taken off. Utah licenses everything. Even hairdressers have to pay before they can play. If you want to go into business, you have to pay a fee and ask for permission. But not just permission, you have to jump through some formidable hoops to secure the right to engage in that business. In other words, you have to satisfy some bureaucrat that you are worthy before you can engage in what should be an inalienable right. And those hoops can be really intimidating. Suppose you wanted to be an electrician. The requirement was several years of education and several more years of practical experience. As a result, most people gave up and sought some other means of making a living. The right to do that has been infringed. Someone in power just realized that the average age of licensed electricians is 58 years old, that we're going to run out of electricians pretty soon. So the powers that be have suddenly found it wise to remove the restrictions and let more people in the industry. That begs the question, if the restrictions were protecting the people, why is it okay now to take the restrictions away? The answer is that the restrictions were never protecting the people. They were simply a means of providing advantage to some at the expense of others. And that is bad government in action. Picking winners and losers is not legitimate government function. Legitimate protection comes from laws that punish dishonesty and fraud, not laws restricting those who want to try. We need protection from people's weaknesses, not from their strengths. We need protection from dishonesty, not from the desire to create, not from talent and ability. There is no better monitor of quality control than the market itself. Business licensing is the equivalent of punishing people for things they haven't done yet, punishing them by not letting them do it. Regulation keeps so many who are talented from participating in the game. Regulation creates a playing field which eliminates really talented people who hate jumping through hoops. Those people are regulated out of the game. Licensing is driven by special interests, not by wisdom. It's promoted by people who want an unfair advantage and by those who want power. Removing the licensing regulations would benefit not only those who are being held out of the game, but it would also benefit the public by allowing a truly free market to dictate the price and the quantity of goods and services. Now, I can sense some hesitation from some who might feel uncomfortable with what I'm suggesting. Those regulations are protecting us, you might say. They are not. Laws against dishonesty and fraud are protecting you. Licensing simply creates an advantage for those who are already in the game, protecting them from competition. Licensing tends to create many monopolies and drive prices higher. Look, either the right to participate freely in the marketplace is an unalienable right or it's not. If it's not, then free speech and the Second Amendment aren't either. I'm amazed at people who so vigorously protest the infringement of the Second Amendment and turn around and vote to infringe the inalienable right to the pursuit of happiness. I want to have this conversation at the state level where regulation originates. If you choose to elect me, we will have this conversation at the legislature. My name is Doug Heaton, and I'm a candidate for the state Senate.